your, how do you tap into your infinite intelligence? How do you tap into the sixth sense? Hi, my name is Ann McNeil. Yes, and I am the master wealth builder, helping you to build a stronger and better life and business with the Think and Grow Rich philosophy espoused by Napoleon Hill. My question to you today, though, is how do you tap into the sixth sense? The sixth sense is a part of the 13 principles in the book by Napoleon Hill. And these are Ann's wonderful words of wisdom today. So thank you for joining me for just a moment as we talk about your sixth sense and how do you really learn to tap into that? You know, it is said that many of the great individuals have used these principles over a long period of time, all 13 principles. And by actually living in these principles, knowingly, sometime and unknowingly, when they are able to tap into that sixth sense, that hunch, that urge, that knowing that we have, and then acting on it. I had a situation this week, actually on Fridays. Our family traditionally go out to dinner or we bring dinner in. And this is my example of how the sixth sense works for me unknowingly at time. So my daughter calls me and she says, "Hi, I'm going to go by and get barbecue. Is that okay?" I said, "Barbecue? Absolutely. Absolutely." This sixth sense is not something you can take on or off. So I have no idea how it works. I just want to explain when it shows up for me, what it looks like. This is what it looks like for me. So I said, "Sure, absolutely." Then she calls me back in 10 minutes and she says, "Oh my gosh, Mom, I'm at McCrae's Barbecue here in Palm Beach County, which is where we always go, and it's closed. What happened?" Now, in our community, McCrae's Barbecue is on the third generation going to the fourth generation community barbecue. So if you can relate to this, you can just imagine how we feel. But as she said that, I sat and I started wondering, that is a family business that has gone out of business. What about the legacy of that family's name and that family business? And then all of a sudden, I made it personal to me. And I said, what about my family business? What about my legacy for my business or businesses? And I'd like to have you ask yourself the same question. And as I sat with that question for a moment, I was reminded of a year ago, my daughter and I went to a conference called The Family Business. And it was the first time in my 40 plus years at that time that I'd ever heard of this idea about a family business. I'd never heard of that before. Family office, family business, what is that? And largely because many of them are multimillionaires, billionaires, if you would, who are privately held family businesses. Never heard of it. But this is the point I want to make, and I'll be brief. Ann's wonderful words of wisdom today is that this whole idea of the sixth sense is not something we can put on or take off at will. It's not something that, you just happens, if you will. But when we are conscious about what's going on around us, we can see the sixth sense in action. The following day that my daughter and I had that conversation, this book shows up in my mail. What would the Rockefellers do? What would the Rockefellers do? Now, I'm not sure for those of you that's watching this or listening to this, what would the Rockefellers do? Why is this important? Because as soon as I opened the book, this is the following day. And when I tell you this happens to me, this kind of situation happens to me all the time. My question is to you is, how do you tap into the sixth sense? What is it that you want? What is it that you desire? Because the sixth sense will bring you whatever it is that you desire, but are you willing to be quiet long enough to meditate and be observant? This is what the book says. Let's see. On page 2, what is a family business? What is a family office? A family office is a team of financial professionals, accountants, attorneys, investment advisors, and it goes on, to protect your family business. It gives an example of two tales, two stories. And I'm talking to somebody, I'm not sure who. It gives the story of the Vanderbilts, who didn't exist over a few generations and they were multi-billionaires, but the family almost lost it all. And then they give the story of the Rockefellers, who have given away billions. But what's the difference in the two? One focused on keeping the money in the generations and protecting the money, and the other one did not. My aunt's wonderful words of wisdom today to all of us is, what is it that you're desiring? For me, I was desiring information about how to protect our family business, how to create a family office, how to create a family business that is a business called the family business. No, not my construction company. No, not my speaking business. No, not my consulting company. No, not Black Women in Construction. No, not the International Mastermind Association, but the family business. I don't know who I'm talking to, but if I'm talking to you, how do you protect your family's business? How do you tap into the sixth sense? So for me, the universe, the sixth sense, the spirit, the infinite intelligence was bringing me my heart's desire. And it was already on the way when I asked a question about the McCrae's family business that went out of business. It's not totally out, but it will not be able to pass on to additional generations. And so by having that desire, I am better equipped to protect our family legacy while living a legacy. And so again, these are Ann's wonderful words of wisdom. My name's Ann McNeil. I am, yes, because I said so, the master wealth builder, helping you to build a stronger, better life, yes, and business. And remember, continue to think and grow richer with Ann's